So before we read, let's invoke the blessing of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Vanchakalpatarubhyascha कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ईश्वरा परमा कृष्णः सच्चिदानन्दविग्रह अनादिरादिर्गोविन्दः सर्वकारणकारणम्। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So we have been reading from the book Trinadapi Sulichena by Srila Guru Govind Swami Maharaj. Srila Guru Govind Swami Maharaj ki jai. So let me see from where we need to read. So we are at page number 122. Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness is the only solution. Page 23. Yeah. Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahajan has said. Just 1 minute. It is. Yeah. Krishna consciousness is the only solution. Srila Prabhupada has stated, the fighting between demons and demigods is perpetual. It cannot be stopped unless intelligent persons from both the sides take to Krishna consciousness. Only Krishna consciousness can tame the fighting spirit and envy, which arises in the heart. This is the only solution. If people are taught the science of Krishna consciousness properly, they can understand what their real constitutional position is, what their true identity is. Jivere Swarup hai Krishna Nitya Das. Who am I? What is my real identification? I am Krishna Das. Krishna is my eternal master. I am his eternal servant. This is our eternal relationship. Therefore, what is our duty? As servants, our duty is to serve the master and please him. Give him pleasure, give him happiness, give him all enjoyment, because he is the only enjoyer. Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, Aham hi sarva yagnanam bhoktascha prahurev cha upadrashtanumanta cha bharta bhokta maheshwara. Krishna says, I am the sanctioning authority, I am the maintainer, I am enjoyer. Repeatedly, Krishna has said, I am the enjoyer. The jiva cannot be the enjoyer. Krishna is the only enjoyer. Everything belongs to Krishna. Nothing belongs to jivas. Bhaktivinoda Thakur Mahajan has said, Amara bolite Prabhu, are kichu nai, tumi amara matra pita bandhu bhai. O Lord, there is nothing I can call my own. Everything belongs to you. You are my father. You are my mother. You are my friend. You are my brother. You are everything for me. निज सुखा लागी किछु नहीं कारी आर. Bhakti Vinod Thakur bole. Tava sukha sar. I will not do anything for my own enjoyment, for my own pleasure, for my own happiness. I will do everything for your enjoyment, for your pleasure and happiness. He should be given pleasure. He should be given happiness because he is the enjoyer. Thereby, the jiva can attain happiness and pleasure. Krishna is the source of all pleasure and happiness. Sachid Anand. Next section. The formula for peace. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidanand Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarv Karan Karan. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Satchit Anand Vigraha, the embodiment of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. He is the source of all bliss and all pleasure. If we will be constantly attached to Him, then we will experience bliss and pleasure. If we disregard Him, we cannot have real peace, bliss, or pleasure. That is our teaching, our Vaishnava philosophy. We have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. We should establish ourselves in that loving relationship. That we have an eternal loving relationship with Krishna. We should establish ourselves in that loving relationship, and then we will get real bliss, real pleasure, real peace. Aham hi sarva yagna nam bhokta cha prabhur evacha. I am the master, I am the enjoyer. The last verse of the fifth chapter of Bhagavad Gita states, Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram surhad sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. Krishna gives the formula for peace. How can one have peace? By accepting Him as the only enjoyer, the only master, the only well wisher, friend of all living entities, you will attain peace. Krishna is the enjoyer, but here in this material world, Jiva wants to be the enjoyer, to lord it over material nature and enjoy it, forgetting his own constitutional position. Jivere Sarup hai Krishna Nityadas. That is the real constitutional position of the Jiva, the eternal servant of Krishna. The servant's duty is to serve his master with love. When we say to establish one's constitutional position, it means to establish oneself as the servitor of Krishna. Krishna should be served with love, Preeti, because we have an eternal, perfect, loving relationship with Him, and service should be done with love. That means Krishna should be given all enjoyment. He should be pleased and he should be satisfied. Then Jiva will experience some pleasure, satisfaction, peace. Otherwise, Jiva cannot be satisfied. A criminal mentality. Surhadam Sarva Bhutanam. I am the only well wishing friend of all living entities. Jiva comes in contact with Maya by abusing his minute independence. Therefore, he thinks he is the enjoyer. I am the enjoyer. I am the master. I am the doer. And everything belongs to me. I am the proprietor. This I and mine mentality, janasya moho yam aham mameti, is called moha, illusion or delusion. because nothing belongs to the Jiva. Krishna is the only proprietor because everything belongs to him. One who has property is the proprietor. Who's the proprietor? Is the Jiva the proprietor? Has the Jiva any property? He has no property. Rather, Jiva is the property of Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, Amara bolite Prabhu, are kichu nai. Oh Lord, nothing belongs to me. Everything belongs to you. Krishna has said in the Gita, Sarva Loka Maheshwara. He is the Lord of all planetary system, spiritual planets, as well as material planets. Because everything belongs to him, he is the sole proprietor. However, the deluded conditioned soul assumes that everything belongs to me. This is my body, my property, my family, my wife, my son, my daughter, my friend, my nation, my country. Everything is mine. Everything belongs to me. I am the proprietor, he thinks. I am the monarch of all I serve. Because he has forgotten his own Sarup, his constitutional position. He thinks in this way because he is a deluded and bewildered soul who's trying to lord it over God's property and to enjoy it. Consequently, how can he have real peace, real happiness, real bliss when he has developed such a criminal mentality? विष्णु प्रिया ना कोरिले परानु kaile vede karya kichu nai. Everything belongs to Lord Vishnu. It is all his property. Now you are trying to possess Lord Vishnu's property and enjoy it, which means that you are a thief, a criminal. You have developed a criminal mentality. Consequently, how can you get real peace, bliss, and enjoyment? Can a criminal get peace, bliss, and enjoyment? No. Rather, a criminal is put into jail and severe punishment is inflicted upon him. How can a criminal get real peace, bliss, and enjoyment? Is there any enjoyment in prison? The insignificant Jiva has abused his minute independence and consequently developed a criminal mentality. However, Krishna is to is so merciful because he has said, Suruhadam Sarva Bhutana. I am the only well-wishing friend of everyone. He is enjoying my property, but not giving enjoyment in me. Still, Krishna is your well-wishing friend. What does he do for bewildered and forgetful souls? He is so merciful that he manifests his Kripa Lila, merciful pastime. What are his merciful pastimes and what paraphernalia does he use for these pastimes? So, dear devotees, many lessons here. The first is, of course, Krishna is the proprietor. Sometimes manager may look like proprietor, but managers are appointed. So, so similarly, like all the demigods, they are appointed executives. They are all respectable, but they are appointed by Krishna. So Krishna is the real enjoyer, and we are all to be enjoyed by Krishna. So we are all Prakriti. There is only one Purusha. So, and they say there is a story, right? That Miraji went to meet Sanatan Goswami, right? And Sanatan Goswami never meet ladies, right? And Miraji still wanted to meet, and then Sanatan Goswami asked, like, ask who's there, and then Miraji respond back that um, Sanatan Goswami was emphasizing that, because I'm a Purusha, I don't meet ladies. And Miraji responded that I thought there is only one Purusha. We are all ladies. Prakriti. I thought only Krishna is the only Purusha. And Sanatana Goswami understood that, whoever is trying to meet is a pure devotee. So, so Krishna is the only Purusha. We are all to be enjoyed. So that mentality, and we are actually cashier for Krishna. It's like, in a bank, cashier is there, and then bank cashier, from his hands, right, throughout the day, so much money goes through, but he never think that this money is mine. So we are all cashier for Krishna, right? Everything is given by Krishna. We are just managing, so we have to engage everything in Krishna's service. So a rich person driver, when drive the car for a rich person, he also enjoy the car, isn't it? So when we engage everything in Krishna's service, it does not mean that we will be morose. No, actually we will also enjoy whenever we serve Krishna. That is why, precisely, if you go to any temple, right, any activity service you go to DT kitchen and wash the pots, you will feel the bliss, right? But same pot if you wash at home, it's a burden, isn't it? So all the Matajis, when they tell Prabhuji, wash the pot at home, so difficult. But same Prabhuji goes to temple and wash pots and feels bliss. Activity is same. Because the difference is in temple, Krishna is the center. At home, if Krishna is not the center, we will not enjoy our household activities because we are the at the center. Krishna is at the side. That's a big difference. But if we make our home also as temple, Krishna is the center, and we are here. We are staying at home to serve Krishna. We are servants. Each activity at home also you will enjoy as we enjoy at the temple, isn't it? So it's just a change of mindset we need to do. Engage everything Krishna service. That's when a Krishna Sambandhe Vastuna. Every Vastu object given by Krishna should be engaged in service of Krishna. So in interest of time, we'll stop here at 126 page. Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj ki jai. So now we'll read Srila Prabhupada Leela. Let there be a temple. Yes. So 280 page number. Prabhupada repeated his instructions several times. He was in a grave mood as he instructed his followers. My Guru Maharaj used to say, Prana che yanara, sei hetu prachar. One who has got life, he can preach. The dead man cannot preach. So you become with life, not like dead man. Just like all my God brothers, they are dead men, and therefore they are envious of my activities. They have no life. If you want to make easy-going life, showing the deity and then sleep, then it is a failure movement. Prabhupada could not bear to hear that such an important festival as Rath Yatra was being stopped. We shall abide by all the rules, he said, but we must have this festival. They saw last year that in open sunshine, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people stood in Trafalgar Square for 3 hours, and then they do not go to church. So they have seen there is something. Otherwise, how people have taken so much interest? Brahmananda Swami, yes, just like the San Francisco paper, they admitted this is the most popular festival. Prabhupada, yes, 15,000 people attended my lecture silently in San Francisco. So they are seeing there is a something in the movement. But sometimes some parties do not want us to go on without objection, or else they will be finished. On the day of Prabhupada's departure from Los Angeles, he addressed the assembled devotees in the temple, encouraging them to remain faithful in Krishna consciousness. And he revealed his own feelings of urgency. His constant traveling was for his disciples, so they would remain strong. If they remained strong, following the simple programs he had given them, then their success was guaranteed. Some way or other, he said, we have introduced this program in Western countries, and you are so intelligent, you have very soon captured it. So stick to the standard. Then your life is successful. It is not at all difficult, but don't deviate. Then you are pakka. Pakka means solid. Mameva ye prapadyante mayam etan tarantite. If you remain solid in Krishna consciousness, then Maya cannot touch you. So that is my request. I am traveling all over the world. I am going to see how things are going to Dallas and New Vrindavan. So my touring is natural. I have started this movement. I want to see that it is going nicely. Do not deviate. That is my only request. Prabhupada began to cry and simply concluded, then you will remain solid. Thank you very much. So, dear devotees, the teaching here is as long as we remain in Krishna's service, Krishna's devotees association, right, we will not be able to deviate. The deviation comes in our life when some service we drop or whatever sincerity was that we had, it started dropping. Then the deviation started. That's why when initial years of introducing to Krishna consciousness, so much enthusiasm we have, isn't it? I'm telling about myself that initial years, so much enthusiasm. You want to read more, you want to chant more, you want to do service. But as 10 years, 15 years passes, right, enthusiasm comes down. So that we need to nail. We have to keep enthusiasm. There's somebody asked Prabhupada, how to become enthusiastic? If you are not enthusiastic, how to become enthusiastic? Then Prabhupada said, then you pretend to be enthusiastic. Right. Pretend to be enthusiastic. It's like, if somebody pull you in a kirtan to dance, if you don't want to dance, but if you pretend to dance, is it? If you pretend to dance, after a few minutes, you started dancing actually, right? So enthusiasm is like that. When we don't have, pretend to be enthusiastic, and that will push you, right? And of course, the Senior Devotees Association, the color will rub on you. Whenever our devotional service goes down, the first thing we should do is just look for, hey, where is the devotees are meeting? Is there any program? Just go there and sit and hear. You will retrieve back wherever we are lagging. So next section, New Vrindavan, July 18, 1974. A letter from Karandhara reached Srila Prabhupada, informing him of his resignation as GBC for India. The responsibilities were too great for him, for he had only recently come back to Krishna consciousness. He would continue to follow the spiritual program, but he could not be the GBC. Again, Srila Prabhupada was set back, and before several GBC men in his room at New Vrindavan, he asked, what to do? What shall we do? So maybe I should just give up these projects in India. But Srila Prabhupada, devotees replied, those India projects are very dear to you. But what can be done? Prabhupada asked. Except for Guru Das, none of the devotees in Vrindavan thought that the building would be ready by the scheduled grand opening. Work was going along slowly, as usual, and except for DT Hall area. The land was still a construction site. There were no altars, no deities. Tejas thought Gurudas so feared displeasing Prabhupada that he could not bear to admit that the building would not be ready. The date had been set, and Prabhupada did not want excuses. He has to be done by Janmashtami, he wrote. There is no question of delay. Guru Das admitted that temple construction would not be completely finished by Janmashtami, but he reasoned that the opening ceremony could still take place, even if final touches on the temple were not done. Because there was no regular GBC secretary for India, Prabhupada did not receive accurate reports on Vrindavan temple construction. When Tamal Krishna Goswami had left in April to preach in the West, several months have passed before Prabhupada had appointed a replacement, Karandhara. Now, after only a few weeks, Karandhara had resigned. Gurudas' version, therefore, was the only one Prabhupada had received. The end of July grew near, and devotees prepared to travel to Vrindavan for a fiasco. Vrindavan, August 4, 1974. When Prabhupada's car pulled up at the ISKCON property in Raman Reti, a group of devotees greeted him with kirtana and flowers. Some 25 devotees from temples around the world had already gathered for the grand opening celebration. And along with the Vrindavan devotees, they crowded happily around Srila Prabhupada. No formal walkways had been constructed, and Prabhupada walked through the half-constructed walls past piles of sand and bricks, make his way towards DT House. Even here, the lack of ornamentation and finishing was apparent, and rubble lay all over g- around. What is this? Prabhupada demanded as he toured the construction site. There is nothing here. Where is the temple? You told me temple was finished. Gurudas, Surabhi, Gunnar Rava, and others directly responsible were unable to answer. Their faces went white. Prabhupada was furious. How can you open this? The visiting devotees also began speaking among themselves. It is not ready. How can we open? But Prabhupada said, one devotee. Devotees from all over the world are coming. Stop them immediately, Prabhupada said. There will be no opening. Prabhupada had burst the bubble, the illusion that they would be ready for grand opening. Prabhupada's anger was frightening, and devotees who surrounded him no longer carefree and joyful. You are going to open this temple? Prabhupada scoffed. The altar is ready, said Rishikesha, who had come from Japan to attend the opening. We can install the deity. You cannot open this temple, Prabhupada shouted. This temple is not completed. Prabhupada then walked into his house, followed by Vrindavan managers and few other leaders. Whoever could keep his distance from Prabhupada in this mood considered himself spared. Surbhi's wife ran off to pray to Krishna, afraid of Prabhupada's ferocity. In his room, Prabhupada's anger only increased. He yelled at Gurudasa for mismanagement. He yelled at Surabhi. He yelled at all of them. No one dared to offer suggestion or excuses. There was nothing to do but turn white and become depressed. Prabhupada suddenly inquired whether the temple could be opened despite the mess. Can you have the DT rooms ready at least? He turned to Surabhi. This is an insult to our society. What will people think? We have announced it everywhere. Nobody actually knows about it, Srila Prabhupada. Surabhi replied fearfully, exposing himself for another blast. Oh, Prabhupada somewhat changed his tone. You have not made any propaganda about it? No invitations? Not yet, Prabhupada. Not to the people in Vrindavan. They do not expect it to open. Because everyone who has been here can see that it is not possible to open. They know it is not ready. This is a farce, Prabhupada scowled. It is a fiasco. Disgusted, he looked at his Vrindavan managers. We have to open. How can we open on Janmashtami? Srila Prabhupada, Surabhi said. The doors are not ready. They are still cutting the wood. Prabhupada inquired about the deities from Yamuna, who explained that their paraphernalia had been purchased, but the thrones were not ready. What is your opinion? He asked her. I am totally unqualified to speak, Yamuna said. And although I have no right to speak, I see it as almost impossible to actually open the temple. There is no pujari. With a sense of finality and failure, Prabhupada said, then we won't do. But we have invited so many people from all around the world to come, and I was not informed of this. Now you all decide. When can we open? Prabhupada asked. Can we open on Diwali? When is Diwali? October, Shila Prabhupada. How about Bhakti Siddhant Saraswati's appearance day? A devotee suggested. That's at the end of December. Prabhupada was silent. Looking displeased, Surabhi spoke up. It will take 6 months, actually 7 months. Then Prabhupada chose the day of Ram Navami in April. The opening could coincide with the annual gathering of devotees in Mayapur and Vrindavan. Surabhi spoke again. He had grown pessimistic from his experiences with construction in India. It depends on whether we can get the cement, Srila Prabhupada, he said. We have to get it from the government. That was the main obstacle preventing us from opening now. We could possibly have the opening in 3 months if we could get the cement. All right, Prabhupada said. Resigned, there was no use trying to set a date. It will be done before Janmashtami. His tone was sarcastic. And if the cement can be obtained, it can be done after 3 months. So, in this interest of time, we will stop here and we'll continue reading that when the Vrindavan Krishna Balram temple will open. So, dear devotees, Vrindavan we visit such a nice Krishna Balram temple, but you see, so much struggle went behind, right? Isn't it? And one thing is when spiritual master is angry, right? Even if you are not at fault, accept the fault. We should not try to defend ourselves in front of spiritual master. Yes, you can present a fact, but do not go in defending spirit. Rather, we should be more humble to receive the chastisement. And actually, when spiritual master chastise you, this is my observation that when spiritual master chastise you, that is actually an opportunity for you to grow. Because we may not able to realize at the time of chastisement, but over the year, right, you will realize that because of that chastisement, we improved. So when spiritual master comes, don't just expect, oh, spiritual master only praise me, or any uh, other Maharaj who visit you or you are visiting, and expect that oh, this Maharaj should glorify me or my work. No, rather you should hear more. But what we do, we speak more in front of Maharaj. Rather, we should hear more because we get only few minutes, right? So we should hear more from that. So because s- saintly peoples, right? Everything is a blessing. Even chastisement is a blessing. So we'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Holiness Satsvarup Das Goswami Maharaj ki jai. So anybody has any question, correction, chastisement, or any realization? We'll wait for 30 seconds, and if not, then we'll close and continue chanting. All right. So if there is no question, we'll wrap up and then continue chanting. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayocha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav ki jai. So thank you, dear devotees, for listening to me, and please forgive me if I have not read properly.